everybody, it's Sally. I'm trying a different, this is probably going to be a really lousy video quality wise. This is the computer laptop, the desktop computer we have at home, but I thought I'm going to see if this works. I've had a lovely day. I thought I would do a check-in because so many things cross my mind, and then I don't ever get back to you guys. For example, right now in the pressure cooker, I'm cooking something I've never cooked before. It is a British thing. It's called gammon. It's actually ham. But we don't usually see ham in the States that's not already smoked. They eat a lot of things that are unsmoked. Like if I buy bacon, English bacon, they're smoked and unsmoked. And the smoked is so salty you really almost don't want to eat it. Almost, I won't say it's like southern ham, like Virginia ham that's super, super salty and thin. Only southern people would understand what that meant. Country ham. Country ham. But it's much saltier than the regular old bacon we buy, which is streaky bacon over here. Over here at home, regular bacon is streaky bacon. Over here, the bacon is bigger and has more meat, and you can actually cut the fat away from the edge with scissors, which is what I do for my husband and myself if I eat a piece. Oh, shock! I eat a piece of bacon. I know. On occasion. So where was I going this? Oh yes, so I stopped at a place called the Co-op, which is a little tiny store that are all over, sort of quasi. I won't even say it's like a 7-Eleven because it's really not like a 7-Eleven, but in some ways that's the closest thing you could relate it to, but it actually has real produce and real ham and real meat and real whatever, along with lots of wine. And so I stopped there to get some sandwich meat for Steve because we were out of sandwich meat, and I was on my way home. And they had the gammon marked down. You know, look in the markdown pile. So I brought this home and looked up on how to cook it. So I've got it in the pressure cooker for 10 minutes a pound. It's 2.5 pounds. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. So basically it's an unsmoked, uncured ham of some kind, a ham joint. I don't know. It's new to me. So that made me think of all the other things that I didn't really know about before. For example, today I was just realizing that we buy a lot of cheese here. Very high in fat, I know, but I just had gotten it out again to have a little bite. And one of the kinds they call, that's popular, at least at the Marks and Spencer's that we go to, is called Cornish Cruncher. Cruncher cheese is crunchy. There's something in it that you don't want to say it's not gritty in a bad way. It's like if you took a crackle bar, but you put a little tiny bit of that crackle in the cheese, it's a cruncher. It crunches. Anyway, I looked that up because I thought, what the heck is this? I don't know what I'm crunching on. So sure enough, there was an explanation on what it is. It's called calcium lactate or something or other. Little tiny crystals that you crunch on when you're eating the cheese. Odd but true. It's very tasty. And the other thing that crossed my mind today that it's not something I remember to bring up. Oh, when I was looking for my phone, there's an idiom here. And I'll say I was looking for the phone and I was trying to buy it. And the guy said, well, they're not available on the high street. They're only available in our catalog. And I'm thinking, the high street? That's not the first time I've heard someone say the high street. Which, let's face it, in a lot of small towns, there's Main Street. And over here they would call that the high street. So I didn't know if that meant literally there was a shop on a street called the High Street in London or a big city, and that's when they always were referring to the High Street. Well, come to find out after looking that up that the High Street just means the proverbial main street where all the markets are in any town. It's a generic term for a very specific kind of identity, the High Street. Well, you know, you wouldn't buy those kinds of, these are marked down clothes styles. They wouldn't be found on the high street. Or there are styles that were copied from the high street. So it means figuratively where all the Tony kind of shops, there's another word you can look up, Tony, means high tone, which I'm sure does not probably have a very good original definition. It's probably kind of racist in nature if you look into your linguistic stuff. But it's kind of, you know, where things would be if you're looking for the main place in town where something would be there to be purchased. In the nicer end of town, not in the bargain basement end of town. So, there you go. You've try to do a little Brit lesson for the day. I'm trying to think what else. I was just out and about and put some pictures on Facebook. I went for a ramble this morning, which was awesome. When I walk out in the countryside with some people, they do it every other week. And the lady who leads the walk is very kind to come and pick me up. Now I've learned to drive. I've offered to, like, if she doesn't have the car some days, that I could drive or whatever. I'd be glad to take my car. Excuse me. Woo! And so we had a great fun with that today. In case you don't see my Facebook page, there was this church where we parked the car. This old 13th century church, 14th century church, I don't know. In this little town called Steeple Barton. And on one side of the yard, of the churchyard, is pristinely manicured lawn with the gravestones in it. New, old, very old, very old. Then the church. Then the other side of the churchyard was uncut. I mean, it wasn't too long, but it was long. I mean, the grass is blown over in kind of a loop-de-doo kind of style. And someone came up to me and said, I'm going to tell you the story about why this part of the yard is untouched and that part of the yard is pristine. She said back in the days of the Black Death, which was the bubonic plague that swept across Europe, swept across England, there are people buried. The bodies that died from the Black Death are buried under this side of the churchyard, and that is why it is untouched, because they couldn't utilize it to either extend the size of the church or to re-bury people and have it look nice over on that side and fill the whole churchyard cemetery, because that thing, they don't want to unleash the Black Plague, I guess. I don't know. Surely it's not dangerous anymore. But that was the kind of adventure I had today, walking on the wild side in Steeple Barton on the countryside of Oxfordshire. One of the other experiences I had today, the lady who leads the walks, Mary, said her scariest moment was when she had to walk by herself, because they do a thing called recce. That's short for reconnoiter or reconnaissance, which means going to check the walk out before you take people on it. And she does that in advance to make sure the path is clear. Do you have to cut it back some? That kind of thing. So once when she was doing this, she said if you walk into a field with cows on it, and those cows are testy because they've got their young or whatever, they can surround you. And she said that was the most frightened she'd ever been. Well, we're walking along today. Sheep run. They don't want to bother you. But we walked through a field that had maybe 4 cows in it. And dumb me, I'm like, everybody's just walking along, just 4 cows. I'm like, there's one cow that we've walked in between, the 3 cows on the hill and the 1 cow over here. And so I'm going, oh, hi, pretty cow. How are you? I'm so excited to see you. Idiot me. Next thing you know, that cow is like on the other side of us, and she's looking at me, and she's like, of course, I've looked at her, and she's like, does this little cow dance, this little, like, and I was like, oh my God, let me out of here. I'm sorry, cow. I didn't mean to talk to you. I did not mean to cause a problem. So anyway, I guess the cow was like, don't talk to me. Do not get in my territory. So I'm like flipped out. I'm like, let's keep walking. Walk fast, walk fast. So that was my big excitement for the day. I took a walk. I had I don't know if I've told you the crazy sounds that go on in this house that we're living in. It's a house from the 30s, which is not considered old at all over here. And I love the house. It's great. It's been redone to some degree, but there's still a lot of old quirky things about it, like the plumbing. And so they changed the parts in a toilet. But there's one little downstairs toilet. They call it the Harry Potter powder room, because it's literally, they built it under the stairs in the last 5 years. And it makes moaning noises. And so my husband insisted they come and change the guts out of the toilet, just the flapper part. So he did that yesterday. Well, today I'm sitting in the office right here, and I'm hearing this, whoo, and I'm going, what the hell have they done to the toilet? And I'll call Steve. I said, you got to get him to come back here and refix this toilet, because I cannot live with this whoo all day long. I walked in every toilet. I flushed every toilet. I walked to every bathroom. I opened every sink. Anything to get the air out of the toilet, the drain system. And ended up in the upstairs hall, having done all that, and it's still going on. And I reach down and I tweak one radiator knob, and it stops like that. So obviously, you see, not only is there plumbing, there's radiator stuff too. Phone's ringing. Gotta go. See you guys soon. Take care.